All right, imagine you are on the metro in Mexico City and you're surrounded by people and you need to get by so that you can get off at the stop that you need to get off at. What's the best way to say, excuse me, I need to get by? Or what if you want to get somebody's attention or say sorry or my bad? I notice a lot of Spanish learners are uncertain about how to be polite in different situations in Spanish. So what are some key phrases that you can use confidently and know that you're being polite even without necessarily a high level in Spanish? That's what we're going to talk about today. One thing that I'll add beforehand is that the nuances of this can change kind of from place to place and person to person, just like in English. But I think as a non-native speaker, it's best in general to err on the side of politeness. All right, let's walk through a few situations using our Mexico City Metro example. So you're trying to get off the train and there's a bunch of people around you. What's the best word that you can say to get past people? That is permiso. Permiso, as in permission. This is also sometimes said as con permiso, as in with permission. Permiso is a great all-around word for anytime you need to get by somebody. And incidentally, it's a good word to use. It's a polite way to excuse yourself from a group. You can say permiso or con permiso anytime you need to leave. Now, let's say getting off of the train, you bump into somebody. Nothing too bad, but you want to say, oops, sorry. In Spanish, the simplest way to do this is to say perdón. Perdón, as in pardon or pardon me. Perdón is great for anytime you want to say sorry for something that's not that bad. So again, if you just bumped somebody, you didn't do anything too dramatic, perdón will suffice in most situations. Now, if you actually want to apologize to somebody a little bit more wholeheartedly, maybe you actually did something that offended them or you spilled your whole drink on them while you were getting off the train. In this situation, you could say lo siento. Lo siento. This is commonly taught as the way to say sorry in Spanish in textbooks, but it's not really the most common way to say it because it's a little bit more for an actual apology. If you're just saying sorry as in the common way that we North American English speakers say sorry for little things that aren't that bad, that kind of sorry in Spanish can be conveyed as perdón. But if you want to actually apologize for something, lo siento is often more appropriate. Now, let's say you got off the train and you're with a friend and they introduce you to another friend. It's a new person. What's the best way to say, nice to meet you? In Spanish, that is mucho gusto. Mucho gusto. This will work anytime, anywhere, with anyone. It's an extremely versatile phrase. Anytime you meet somebody, you can say, hola, mucho gusto. Now, let's say you're leaving the station. You're at the door about to go out and you see somebody behind you holding a bunch of bags. They obviously can't get the door. You want to hold it open for them. What's a good way to do that and say, go ahead? In Spanish, you can say pase, as in pass, or adelante, as in go ahead. Pase and adelante. This also works for if you're having a conversation with someone and you want to say, no, you go ahead. No, adelante. Now, let's say you're outside of the station and you see a friend from like 20 feet away and you want to get their attention. What's the easiest way to do this? In Spanish, that is oye. That's best used for people around your age, people who you know, your friends. You want to get their attention, and it doesn't necessarily need to be formal or overly polite. If you want to say the same thing and get somebody's attention who you want to be a little bit more polite to, maybe they're older or you don't really know them or it's your boss, you could say oiga, which is the usted form of the verb oír. Oiga. So you might say, oiga, señor, you dropped this or that. And a great all-around way to be polite and say excuse me is the word disculpe. This means excuse me and can be used pretty much in the same way that excuse me in English is used. In Spanish, it's disculpe, or in the tu form, disculpa. So if you are in a restaurant and you want to get the waiter's attention, you can say disculpe. Now let's say you're back outside of the train station and you drop your notebook. Somebody behind you sees it and they pick it up. You say, thank you. Gracias. You probably already know this word. Gracias. Now, what if you drop your wallet or your passport or something more valuable and they get it? Sometimes, we want to say something more than just thanks. We want to express more gratitude. And so in Spanish, you can say, muchas gracias. Muchísimas gracias. Or, te lo agradezco. I appreciate it. Te lo agradezco. You can also say, this is more common in some places than others, but gracias, muy amable. Gracias, muy amable. Now, let's say your friend who's been with you on the train, say they rode with you for hours through traffic to help you get to your destination safely, and you want to say thanks for everything. In Spanish, the simplest way to do that is to say gracias por todo. Literally, thanks for everything. Gracias por todo. Now, if you are the one who's getting thanked, what is an appropriate response? You might already know de nada. That's a very common way to say you're welcome. De nada. You can also say no hay de qué. No hay de qué. As in, there's nothing to thank me for. You can also say, no hay problema. There's no problem. No hay problema. Or you can say, con mucho gusto, or con gusto. This is something that you'll hear a lot in restaurants. When if a waiter drops your food off at your table and you say thanks, you'll hear them say often, con gusto, or con mucho gusto. Or if you want to say, no, thank you. In Spanish, you can say, no, gracias a ti, or gracias a usted, depending on who you're speaking with. Now, let's say you and your friend, outside of the station, you go into a store across the street. And it's a little store, the owner's right there, or the person working is right there. It's polite in these situations to greet, to say, hola, hola, buenos días, hola, buenas tardes, or if it's evening, even, hola, buenas noches. And then when you leave, you can say, chao, gracias. Or if you're leaving a group of friends, you're not in a store, and you're going to see them again, you might say, chao, nos vemos, or hasta luego, nos vemos. These are great all-purpose ways to leave a group or say bye to anybody that you're talking with. Using these phrases, you will be polite in pretty much any situation, anywhere you go in the Spanish-speaking world. They're really useful, and if anything, you can just remember hola, perdón, as in sorry, pardon, and gracias. These will go a long, long way. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything that you think helps Spanish learners be polite, or anything else that you've heard that I didn't cover here. And if there's anything that you are particularly struggling with in Spanish, let me know in the comments as well, and maybe I can make a video on it. That's it for now. Subscribe if you like this video. I'll be making more videos just like this one every week.